When belonging requires obedience, it stops being support. This is oddly Robbie. There's a question I've been thinking about lately. A question that applies to families, friendships, partners, communities, and even institutions. The question is simple. When someone helps us, what does that help require in return? Most of us think of support as something positive. Someone shows up, someone cares, someone helps, and that certainly is part of it. But over time, I've noticed something interesting. Not all support functions the same way. Some support helps us become more ourselves. Other support slowly asks us to become less ourselves. And that difference matters. Because when belonging requires obedience, it stops being support. The hidden trade. Many of us grow up hearing phrases that sound caring. We only want what's best for you. This is what family does. You owe us because we've always been there for you. You can belong here if you follow the rules. Now, sometimes those statements really are expressions of care, but sometimes they're carrying something else. A condition, a hidden trade. Receive care, lose agency. That's not always easy to see, especially when the people involved genuinely love us. Because real affection and real control can exist in the same system. Someone can care deeply about you and still struggle to let you be fully yourself. Those two things can exist at the same time. And that's where the confusion often begins. The system. When I look at this through human systems lens, I see 4 moving parts. First, there's the support itself, the help, the advice, the companionship, the protection, the practical assistance, the belonging. Second, there are conditions attached to that support. Sometimes they're spoken, more often they're implied. Be loyal, stay quiet, agree, don't embarrass the group, don't change too much. Stay in the role we've assigned you. Third, there's the cost of refusal. This is where the system becomes visible. A healthy support system can tolerate disagreement. A controlling support system makes disagreement expensive. It may withdraw approval, warmth, access, status, or belonging itself. And fourth, here's your internal signal. Your nervous system usually notices before your mind does. Do you feel relief or vigilance? Do you feel more honest or more careful? Do you feel more free or more managed? Those signals matter. why chosen family matters. This is one reason chosen family can be so powerful. Not because chosen family is automatically better, and not because biological family is automatically worse. That's not the point. The point is function. Chosen family often reveals something important. The relationship continues because people keep choosing it, not because authority requires it, not because history requires it, not because obligation requires it, because people continue saying yes again and again and again. That repeated choice creates a different kind of accountability, a different kind of belonging, one that depends more on consent and less on ownership. Of course, chosen family can become controlling too. Any relationship can. The category isn't the important part. The function is. And the real question is, can people remain connected without taking power over one another? A better question. For a long time, many of us ask a simple question. Who has helped me? And that's not a bad question. But I think there's a better one. What does their help require from me? Does the help leave me more able to choose? Can I disagree and still belong? Can I set boundaries without punishment? Can I grow? Can I change? Can I become someone unexpected? Or does a relationship depend on my compliance? Because support and control can look surprisingly similar from the outside. The difference often appears only when someone says no. The human system. Here's a pattern I've come to see. Support becomes safe when it increases agency, not obedience, not identity surrender, not emotional debt, agency. Healthy support helps people stand, then allows them to stand as themselves. It doesn't convert gratitude into leverage. It doesn't treat boundaries as betrayal. It doesn't confuse care with authority. And it doesn't make belonging disappear when someone becomes more authentic. That's an important distinction, because a person can be included and still controlled. Real belonging requires something more. It requires enough safety for honesty, enough safety for difference, enough safety for autonomy. Applying it. When receiving help, you might ask yourself, what happens if I say no? What happens if I change? What happens if I stop performing the role the system expects? Does the system expand my life or narrow it? And when offering help, here are some useful questions too. Am I helping or directing the outcome? Can I allow this person to choose differently than I would? Am I accidentally making my support conditional? Would they feel safe setting a boundary with me? These questions matter in families, in relationships, in partnerships, in communities, and increasingly in technology. Any system that claims to help people should ask the same question. Does this increase human agency or quietly replace it? One of the most important things I've learned is that support doesn't become meaningful because it's intense. It becomes meaningful because it's safe. Safe enough for disagreement, safe enough for growth, safe enough for change, safe enough for autonomy. The strongest support doesn't need ownership. It doesn't need obedience. And it doesn't need a person to become smaller. It helps a person stand. It lets them stand as themselves. Thank you for spending a little time with me today. Until next time, keep looking beyond the story and into the system. This is Robbie.